And welcome back. Our next guest is an occupational therapist and licensed brain gym consultant and joins us to share tips for the brain during this time. We welcome Mari Mayoshi. We welcome you to the show. Now, we met sometime before. Weren't you on the show about maybe 2 years ago?
Yes, I was. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah. So you're dealing with the brain integration coach. You're the coach.
Yeah,
And we need you now more than ever before. How can you help us?
definitely. I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but when your brain experiences anxiety or stress, it kind of goes into this kind of frozen or
Yeah.
very reactive state. So you might find yourself reacting or not being able to get done the things you normally can when you're not experiencing this kind of, unprecedented stress.
Yes.
So the things that people know to do, like taking a walk or getting some exercise or doing yoga, those things are all very beneficial. And I would say if it's working for you, please continue to do that. But there are also some movements that are designed to help relax the brain that help to get you out of that kind of frozen state.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're stuck. You're in the sunken. You're in the frozen state. And
Frozen
you
or
need someone to help you get out. We need a paradigm shift.
right. And sometimes, like, people don't go into the frozen aspect. They kind of go into a fighting mode. Sometimes they go into like a reactive, like, kind of fighting or kind of
Really?
more active mode sometimes in stress as well. So there's the different reactions that you can have. And if you're finding yourself experiencing that, I would say, make sure one of the first easiest things you can do to help yourself is to hydrate.
Yeah.
So hydrate super important, especially when you're experiencing stress, because your body uses more water when you are stressed. So that's first
Okay.
and foremost the easiest thing you can do. Essentially, there are some movements in brain gym. So brain the method of practice is movements that are designed to enhance learning. But, I kind of expand that to enhance learning and living. And because
Yeah.
everything we learned and we practice what works, and sometimes what works isn't good for us, but we do it anyway, practice. But,
Yeah.
we need to shift out of that kind of way of being. Sometimes doing some novel movements helps you get out of that. So
What kind
taking
of
a
movements are you talking about? Novel movements.
so one of the
Something that
movements
you
we
haven't done before or done in a while?
novel movements are definitely movements you haven't done in a while. Sure, those are always good because you have to stop and pay attention. And
Yeah.
when you have to stop and think about something and pay attention, you get out of that reactive or frozen mode because you have to really look at what's in front of you. So
Gotcha.
novel movements are good because it wakes up the noticing part of the brain. And when you do that, you're more in the present moment. So going for a walk is great because what it does is by moving your arms in the opposing direction, you're doing contralateral movement, which is activating both sides of the brain at the same time. And when you do walking type movements, it helps your brain know, oh, okay, I'm getting away from danger, whatever I'm experiencing. So getting a walk is great. But if you, let's say you're out, can't leave, you can also do kind of a modified walk where you're like marching your legs, but then placing your hand on the opposite knee and up.
Oh, okay. I got it. I'm trying it now.
In Brainson, we call that cross crawls, and cross crawl helps to kind of also get you out of that state, that stress state. And you might be noticing, like, I don't normally react this way, and I don't normally feel like this kind of desire to fight or, frozen. But I'm noticing that in myself. If you're in the car, definitely do that.
It's either fight or flight.
Yeah, the fight or flight kind of type of tendency. There's also the freeze tendency, which is to kind of like just get stuck.
Yeah.
So those are good.
That's a bad feeling, the stuck feeling. Oh, what do I do next? I can't figure out what to do next.
Right.
So how do
And
you unstick somebody? Well, you said go for a walk, make sure you hydrate and those things like that. But do you have exercises that you perform or that you have your clients perform to get
yeah.
them unstuck?
So there's other movements that we also do. Um, um, it's a little hard to describe, but what you can do is there's a movement called thinking caps because sometimes also in stress people are listening
Yeah.
but they're not. So you can't even yourself or listen to other people speaking to you. So there's
I
a
get you.
thing called thinking tap where we take your fingers and you unroll your earlobes, like you're opening your ears up, and you give your
Up.
whole ear a massage, and it helps to prepare the brain for listening. You know, that might be really key in this time where you're trying to communicate or think about how you want to, you know, get through this next period.
My mother used to do that to me. Hey,
Right.
just get me to listen. Yeah, I got you. So do it to yourself.
Yeah.
You just pull them up.
Sorry?
Or pull your earlobes up.
It's like you're unrolling them back and out. It's like you're
Okay.
open.
So the people that you're dealing with parents who have tried everything, or therapists who have reached their plateau, or if you feel like you're at a loss for what you do, and you're helping out a client, then the brain gym can help. That can be the answer.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's many things that work for many people, but I do find that this is very beneficial. I have kind of all the people that you've mentioned. I have parents, I have kids, I have therapists who use it for themselves and their clients. And then I also have just well adults who just want to change the way they react or behave in a certain situation, or just want to do things better.
Yes.
So people who just want to enhance their performance at something. So whether it be playing an instrument or like, you know, learning a new language or like dancing, you know, there are people who just want to make their skills better. You know, this day, at this time, I have more people who are just trying to manage their stress and daily living kind of things.
Yeah.
But I've also put together like a free workshop that I'm doing online if people want to.
How do you see that?
If you go to my website, it's Brain Gym Learning Center NYC.
Say it again.
Brain Gym Learning Center NYC.
Brain Gym Learning Center NYC.
.weebly.com. And if you go to that page, and if you click on the events page, you'll see some free resources that I've had coming up, free or pay what you can. You know, it's kind of a donation-based thing also.
Okay.
Do some of these movements in a group, and then you can actually see them because it's a little easier to watch it and do it rather than just listen to it.
We can follow along. Follow along. Can you give us that website one more time very slowly?
Sure. It's Brain Gym Learning Center NYC .weebly. So it's WEEBLY.com. It's a little bit of a long. Yeah.
Because I know somebody said, "Can you have us say that again?" And so my brain told me to do that.
Yeah. No, and I mean, this is definitely some stressful times. So, you know, it's really important to really focus on the basics. Another thing that's helpful for the brain is that in times where things are uncertain, it's really beneficial to stick to the routine. Stick to routines that you're familiar and comfortable with as much as you can.
Yeah.
And really give your brain some familiar things in the context of some things that are unfamiliar.
Yeah. Well, you know, these are unbelievable times. We can't believe that we're going through things like this, like being stuck in a home or working with the kids that are supposed to be in school. So it can be very stressful. And then watching the news and how people around us are falling ill and passing away. And so, yes, these are very, very stressful times. So we need people like you. And we thank you for your service.
No problem. I mean, we're all in this together. So definitely it's important to, you know, share what resources we can. And then also just, you know, doing things in a consistent way because the brain really likes consistency.
Yeah.
It likes novel things like, you know, movements and stuff, but only when you're feeling like, okay, but generally I have things kind of in a familiar context, you know. So, yeah, so I would say, like, focus on those things. Join us in the group if you're feeling like you want some extra support. And, yeah, that's what I would say to do.
Thank you so much. Mari Miyoshi, brain integration coach, brain gym consultant, and she'll take you there. Occupational therapist and licensed brain gym consultant. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
We
Thank you for having
appreciate
me. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll take a break right here. We'll come back with a whole lot more coming up next on Open.